Action.
Vite.
Salut. Hello.
The most important thing that I've learned is to live in peace with everyone.
I learned throughout this process how one individual can really change something in their community.
The most important thing I've learned from the Facing History program is how to deal with the history of my country. Now I know I can use the past to build a good future for me and to prevent all those things that happened in Rwanda.
Facing History is an international nonprofit working in the area of education. We focus on history that deals with the abuse of civil rights, human rights. We often look at cases of mass violence.
Today and tomorrow, we're going to begin to talk about genocide. For the Rwandan students, this is their life and their history and what happened here.
Countries are emerging from mass violence all the time. And how a community repairs itself is at the heart of our work. And the ideas that students come up with are sometimes better than the ideas that I see come out of the Security Council, because they have a deep understanding of justice.
We know that there was a lot of anti-Jewish sentiment for centuries in Europe. Jews were seen as the outside group. Jews were blamed for many different things that they were not responsible for. We received a State Department grant to do an exchange program between 2 schools in Rwanda and 2 schools in Massachusetts. It's a cultural exchange, but also these students are studying about the Holocaust and themes around genocide and the concept of community. And the students would be asked to create digital stories so they could share this experience with other students in other classrooms and other teachers.
This is a responsibility. You have to think about what is the story that you want to tell.
What have you learned about who to include in a community? Like
Who to include?
everybody?
Honestly, it shouldn't just be like, oh, we pick you, because the community is not like that. Either way, all at the end, a community is just having whoever's there and then working it out, all the issues.
I knew that if you engaged kids honestly and authentically in issues that are human, who's in and who's out, how do you care for or turn against your neighbor? If you engage as an adult with those students, you'll have a community of people to reflect with that will make you as a teacher more empowered. You don't empower the kids, they empower you.
The readings that you did together today really kind of build on each other, and we hope that you feel like you have some sense, a little maybe more sense today of Rwandan culture than you had before you came.
First part of the program was to get everyone meeting in student clubs in each country. One big component of that was having students interact online through a website that was created specifically for the program. The second part would be the actual exchange or visit. American students would come to Rwanda and spend 3 weeks here. We would study the Holocaust together with the Rwandan students. We would visit some memorial sites.
After the visit to the memorial, they were all weeping, they were shaken, they were deeply moved. I found that they shared the same feelings, the same reaction.
Action.
Thank you.
Mwakazi. Asante.
Merci.
I thought I wasn't gonna like it in Rwanda because it was a different culture and there was different people. And then I found this really good bond between me and the students and the teachers and everyone there, and we built a strong community.
Some of you have your own cameras, but it'd be better to work together with one camera, because that will make you work as a team and think as a team about what you want to take pictures of.
To create the digital stories, we really needed people who knew how to use that media. So we asked the Mobile Learning Institute to come and help, and they've been the ones who've really given the students the skills, have taught them about visual literacy. They've also helped with providing mobile devices like phones that take video, phones that capture images. This picture was taken in Memphis, okay, in the 1950s during the Jim Crow era. So it's a fairly iconic image. You'll see it a lot when we talk about civil rights movement in this country. The image often comes up, okay. After American students returned to the States, we would then continue, working with the Rwandan students through this online component. They would continue to do online assignments. This time we'd be focusing on the civil rights, and so we'd be looking at American history and prepare also us and the Rwandan students for their visit to the United States.
Something is going to change the way you see the world. Almost all of our work is created to get us to walk in someone else's shoes.
The Rwandan students are here now for 3 weeks, and over the next 3 weeks there are basically 3 parts to their stay here. The first part is creating and finalizing the digital stories. The second part is going to be looking at the history of the civil rights movement here. This also includes presentations that they'll be doing in Washington, D.C. to the State Department. And the final piece is really to get them to do some community work here in Boston and to get to know the communities that they're going to be living in.
That is perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so let's do this so it stays warm. We'll put this in on the table, and we're going to cover that with tinfoil.
I put on the table.
Participating in the exchange has been truly life-changing. And I think for my students to be able to go to Africa and just see roots and the history that we read about in books but have really no way to put it to life, and meet all of these wonderful kids and their families and see the traditions and the culture, it's beyond words.
So I'm honored to introduce Senator Kerry from Massachusetts.
Well, thank you for the privilege of letting me share a few words with you. And most importantly, thank you for what you are engaged in. Facing history and ourselves is the most important kind of person-to-person, grassroots effort to try to understand things. And you can't know where you're going if you don't understand where you've been.
What I would like others to experience through watching the digital stories these kids make is to discover what teachers discover in our seminars, that these children are moral philosophers, that they're state-of-the-art, fast digital learners, and that they can make this world a better place.